Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your host, your friend Dharam Singh, and today I'm privileged to have my very good friend and very recent PgMP, Manohar, and I'm very delighted and happy that he accepted my invite, and he's here to talk about something exciting about telecom industry. Welcome, Manohar. How are you today?
Good, sir. First of all, good evening, and to you and for all those participants who were there actually. Thanks for that. And thanks for the invite, sir. Thanks for selecting me for such an opportunity. Thanks for that. And it was such a good journey. Like it started like almost 3 to 4 months, and still we are continuing. And I hope to be continuing this coming days too. Thanks for that. Thanks for all the support.
Okay, thank you very much. So, and I can see lots of familiar names, and some of the people already did webinar with me. So I can see them, and probably they're sitting. Hey, Dharam, I was there a few days ago, and you know, it's a journey. You go this side or this side. So you share something, and now it's turn for Manohar. So, and some people are sitting other way. Okay, I'm studying, and I'm going to start preparing with Dharam, and you never know, you will be here.
Obviously, sir, because this kind of meet might be not only this is going to be like a success story for those and people who are going to study after this. This will be like a good channel for at least starting this. This is a good thing, yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, we will talk about. I got a question from Dharmendra. He's saying, talking about, can you please request Manohar to share application process experience? So we'll talk about it. We'll get there. But yeah, please feel free to put your questions, whatever question you have, and I will ask the question whenever the right time. And the good news is I have the PDU approved. I will be sharing the PDU code later. And if you are thinking of doing PgMP PfMP, I have shared a couple of links on the chat. Please watch it. And even if you're already in the journey, you may like to get some tips and hints, so will be useful for you. And yeah, in anything else, any question you have for me, for Manohar, about his journey, about his PgMP success, and of course, you can talk to me anytime. Anyway, so with no further delays, and again, I'd like to welcome Manohar. So Manohar is coming with lots of telecom experience, and he has done, I think, a lot of with the Reliance, Bharti Airtel, and Tata, and also recently, for last 8 years, he is working with Al-Kaun Telecoms in Qatar. So, and he was involved with in the FIFA World Cup, recently finished, accomplished very successful games.
Second week of November.
Second week of November.
That was in the peak time actually. My FIFA and the exam, both the side I got a push. One from your side and the other from my FIFA project side.
Yeah, so that's where the exceptional, when I talk about successful people, I mean, there are people, I talk to them, they say, Dharam, I'm busy, I'm traveling, this, and there are a lot of excuses, and we are, we are very good in finding excuses, but only one excuse you need, that I have to do it, no matter what, I'm going to do it. So that attitude will take you long way.
That's very true, sir, because in fact I told you because the last call which you called me before the exam, that was the key point, because I remember I told you, sir, I was opening this cancellation form for this what to do with this. Should I proceed or should I go ahead with this exam later? So I was doing this, but exactly I was receiving a call from you, Manohar, go ahead. So that was a push from your side, and it was a trust which I kept on you, and with that note, yes, it was done. The things which it was not like a last minute conference whichever you are given to us, sir. It was like throughout the journey. It was in the class itself you started pushing us, because it was not like last 1 week Mr. Dharam sir was pushing us for the exams. No, the day when we started itself, we know that we are going to write the exam at the end of 45th day. So we were kept ready, and you were there behind for all these things. Yes, it was done. It was done very much. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no worries. My plans are my plan. My success is when you get successful, pass the exam, and I said, okay, you know what? I added one more number in my. I love my statistics, by the way. So.
And this also I remember, sir, you told me, Manohar, I want just one number from you. That's it, sir. It's not like a number. I want my certification. No. It's for me. It's a number. I remember this.
Not just number, by the way, but so as of now, 445 PgMPs from 51 countries. Very happy that everyone trusted me, got there. I can see all the names. Kavita is also there, and so many people are there who has gone through my journey, the journey of PgMP, and at the end of the day, you got the results. So very happy. Yeah. So would you like to spend some time about journey you took and when the PgMP journey? I know Dharmendra has asked about the question about the application. We'll talk about it. But if we can give some, spend a few minutes on that.
Sir, I think you might be knowing about my history, but still let me explain about whoever is visiting, so that it should be like a boosting thing, because I'm going to share my story. It's definitely, I think it's going to be like a boosting for other who is going to write the exams also. Because I started my first of all, let me start with my PMP. I started my PMP on last year, 2021. 2021, it was around like a September. I was starting this PMP class. So this PMP I could able to do within some 45 days. Yes, I got it done. So once I got this PMP done, so I had like yes, PMP is done, so I should go for this PgMP too. So without thinking anything else, I directly joined for this PgMP. Within 1 week of time from this PMP certification, I just directly joined this PgMP. From one center, I just joined. So it was like the same 145 days class, and honestly speaking, actually, I didn't have much trust on my examination preparation, but still I had only one thing in mind. So whatever I do, I should complete this in PMP and PgMP on the same year. So it was on around 2021. So what I thought is a little bit confidence I had, but with this confidence, I felt like, okay, let me go and clear it first. So around 2021 December, in the last week, I attended this PgMP exam. So it was my first attempt. So only when I attended the exam and I failed in that exam, then I came to know it was not only the confidence, you should have some preparation too. That was my first point, that I got it, but it was costing much. So then second, because I was no way to come back. So okay, let me start for the second time. Then once again, I just start studying all these things. And it was around this time I just prepared much, and I just took 3 months of time. So by around once again April, so with all these preparations, then once again I attended the exam actually, but I couldn't able to clear at that time too. But at this time I was literally frustrated, because first time I understood that was no preparation, but second time, even after all the preparations, but still I couldn't able to clear. Then I thought, okay, this PgMP is not going to be for me. So that is something like a big thing. So that is way I thought, and I just was keeping quiet. I was just keeping quiet for some days. So, but later I was busy into this FIFA project. So even my friends and family was pushing me for all these things. I was not much interested in going for this PgMP exam. Okay, let it go, because I have done this much. But I was not in a mood to take this PgMP exams. But after some 2-3 months, I think I would share this news, sir. Actually, it was my family members, my wife, I think, to be very specific. It was her who was pushing me, because she had I told you this actually, because I had 2 choices in my PgMP courses. I was selecting it, like one was Dharam Singh and other one was other center. So this was, I remember. So my wife was recommending your name and I was going for other name. So it was missed there. It was missed there, and from there once again she was the one who was reminding your name once again when I was in big trouble actually, because 2 times it was failed, and now at least I have only one more attempt left. So she was telling me, at least now why can't we try with the Dharam sir? And with half-minded only I just came to you. It was just a call. Then I was reluctant, because it's 2 attempt done, so I am not much confident. So she was pushing me behind this. Then at least okay, at least for her, normally wife says we cannot deny most of the times. So okay, at least this time we'll go for this. And I just came to you, and only one thing I want to say: the confidence which you gave on the first call, yes. Then I understood, okay, something is going to happen at least in the last attempt, because it was my last attempt. Because once again I had to prepare for all these things. Meantime, FIFA project was going on in parallel. So all the things were in. I was in a tight schedule, but I was not completely aware that what is going to happen after 2-3 months. But the preparation, that is okay. Then when I started attending the class with you, Then I understood, first it was not the confidence only is going to make you pass, and the thing second, that preparation, whichever you are going to make, you should prepare the right materials and you should get the things from the right persons, else you are not going to get passed. So this I got it understood when I started attending the class with you. This happens only from August or September, I think so, yes sir, August or September I think I was attending your classes. So this I got it. I should go behind the person who is going to train me with the right materials. The materials whichever you are providing, that was so good actually. Because my date was closing around this December, November last. So, and also my towards my project pressure, it was going to be huge in this towards November end, because this FIFA is going to get close at those times. So I want to attend this exams before that. So it was hardly some 40 days left for my exams. So then I was telling this story, all these things too, sir. I have only maximum some 40 to 50 days. So what should I do? Still I remember this. You told me, Manohar, sorry, it was like a 60 days I had actually. Then I remember, Manohar, I don't want 60 days. You just give me only 45 days. I know this. You told me. Then sir, within 45 days, how come I could able to do it? No, Manohar, I guarantee you that I can do it. So I don't understand, sir, from where I got this confidence, I trust. So simply I said, yes, okay, sir, let me start. So next day I joined. So right from the first day, because it was like a weekly 1-day class. So I was in so much fear actually, because 2 times gone and it's like a third attempt. So the attempt which I'm going to make this time, this is going to be like the last attempt, and it was going to be like a sure attempt to get passed. So this is what I remember in this. So in that way only I started studying. And I started asking the questions. In fact, you might be remembering most of the time I was the one who was asking questions during my class sessions. So because I want to clear this exams somehow. So it was started. So it was almost 4 or 5 weeks. And exactly after 4 or 5 weeks, by the time I complete these courses, yes. And the materials whichever you are referring, it was so good, sir. Actually, I was about to tell this actually. The one whichever you gave me that CRG guide, complete reference guide. It was in fact some of the questions. Yes, you told me during the exams too, because our PgMP exams is going to be like a mix-up of PMP and this PgMP exams. So this questions whichever you are given the CRG guide, it was because when you go through this, you need not to go back to this PMP books. I have seen this. This I got to know when I attend these exams. So this has happened actually. So because this PgMP exams are going to carry most of this, some of this PMP exams. For this PMP questions, we need not to refer this complete PMP courses, all those things. So this, I gone through this CRG, complete reference guide, and the question papers, that Ala Sultan, and 2-3 questions whichever Ginger Levin questions whichever you are referring. It was so matching to the exams whichever we attended. It was so when I started attending this exam, sir, then and one more thing I want to tell you, that the reachability to Dharam sir was so good actually, because it was here in Qatar, it was almost like a 2 hours difference. I know this. So my situations like this, when I ask any questions in the night, I will get an answer in the morning. So, but I will get answer. So that timing difference was there, like a 10 hours difference, because a day and night that difference was there. But whatever I do, but I know that okay, let me post a question to Dharam sir, and I may be getting this answer at least in the morning. So it was like this, and finally you are just come in call also many times, and before you come for a class session, I very well remember that this class session was only not like a teaching session. It was like a doubt clearing session. I know this because I used to go through all the topics and I used to make note of all the doubts. And in fact, I will be the only, most of the doubts only will be asked by me during the class sessions. So I'll be noting down all the things. And you were so patient to answer all my questions, even though it is like a small questions, big questions, and it was like a 2 hours. It will be completely used by me actually. Thanks for that. And I this PgMP course is not only for clearing the exams. That is what I understood. It's like more into subjects, and this knowledge whichever I'm going to implement in this program or project. It was so much helpful, and happily during this courses itself, I think I have conveyed this also to you. I got promoted because this has got me such a confidence actually. because very much I was into this subject, and more of the things I came to know actually what is happening in the field. I could able to discuss with my management what is really happening and what I am into here. So this helped me to talk to my management and get this done. And finally, within some 30 days or within some 30 days from the start of this course, I got this promotion. So you are the first person I just messaged this, sir. It was because of you I got this done. It was thanks for that, sir. And finally, once after booking the exam, so till the time I attend to this mock exams, I didn't have that much fear. But when I started, you told me, Manohar, because I keep on posting my results to you, so you keep on advising me, Manohar, this is bad, this is good, and you just keep on concentrating on this. It was like a continuous communication. Then wherever you say, I just followed your tips. So Manohar, just concentrate on this, concentrate on that. So that is how it helped me. And finally this has happened. And you because I was about to take exams by November last week. Then you told me, Manohar, don't wait until last week. It was going to be too late. The problem with this PgMP is, if at all you are not going to get revised, you are not going to revise something due to your pressure, you will be losing your start forgetting all these things. So that was the tip you told me. Then you told me, sir, I will go for exams after 30 days. But you told, Manohar, you go exam after only 15 days. So it was October 30. I started booking the exams within 15 days. But starting once after booking the exams, I was so much afraid. What is going to happen in this 15 days? How come I'm going to cover all these things? Because only trusted this Dharam sir, I just made this exam booking. So now I am the one who is going to write the exam. Dharam sir, what he is going to do? Then don't worry. So this much fear I had actually. So you told me, Manohar, don't worry, I'll be coming in a class. Then also, like once in a week, you just come to me for a live session, just at least to boost me up. Manohar, go ahead. So always that is needed, sir, because in between Mr. Justin, because you are the one who introduced Mr. Justin also. Manohar, he is into like same telecom, just be with them, and he also. So I just messaged Justin also during that time, and I don't know from where he has suddenly got my number, and suddenly he has started replying. He has started advising me, Manohar, do this, do that, and he was started giving some like tips, just do this, do that, and it was. Yes, it was good from him too. And finally, it was in the last week. And just before 3 or 4 days, once again I had issues. Sir, how should I proceed? Because still I have a fear. And once again, exactly where I opened my exam cancellation window, my screen was there with the open window of this cancellation screen. Then suddenly, so from somewhere, Dharam sir has appeared in the screen. You called me actually. You called me. Then I was. This really happens actually. I was just seeing your face, then I just minimized this cancellation that window, registration that window. I was just waiting for your update. You told me, Manohar, go ahead, simply go and write the exams. So it was like a half-an-hour session we had. It was 12 o'clock here exactly. So I don't know what is the time there from your place, but it was exactly 12 o'clock. It was the last day for cancelling my exam. So I was just waiting for the sir. I just waiting for your update to cancel this exam. No, don't even go for this. Just go ahead with this. So only with this word, I just started. I just went for this, and then finally, once again, I was in such fear that I took my family members also with me. You know this, sir, actually, to the place, and finally, I made them to wait. Actually, finally, I got it done, sir. I so much happy actually, because in the examination center itself, I was in such a joy that I was tapping in my this thing. I was happily, because it was my third time and it was my last attempt. And that was and if at all it is going to get failed, once again I have to start all the process starting from the first. And finally on November 14th I just got done, sir. And you were the first person I just got this message with you, sir, with all the things that too about target and all the things. Yes, I was so happy. And all those who was behind the success, I just want to thank. I just given a message to Justin also, and all those friends who have supported. I just thanked everyone, sir. And first to you, thanks.
Thank you for being honest and talking about your, people talk about your successes and all kinds of things, but talking about the failure is need courage, because people are watching who knows what people are judging now. It's about giving them the right, what happened, where I made mistakes and whatever it is. So that takes courage, and you did really well, and thank you for sharing. So thank you for telling your story, and I'm sure somebody and many people can relate with that as well. I'm here to listen about project management and program management in telecom industry. So given that you have almost your life spent with telecom, and you have seen a lot of changes as well. So I thought who can be the better person to talk about project management, program management in the telecom industry. So once again, thank you, and thank you all for waiting and to listen and going to listen to our discussion. How are project scope swings, like variations in constraints and shifting project milestone, handled by project program managers in telecom industry?
Honestly, sir, this scope change, scope swing, no way we cannot stop it. That is very true. That is the first truth in this telecom industry. That too, especially in telecom industry, that is no way it's going to be stopped. Only thing is we can control the scope swing. First, before this, every project or program, it's going to come with the requirements first, because it's not going to be the scope, because the requirements are going to be the one which is going to by the customer actually, because customers the one who is going to give the requirements. But when we are going to, as a project manager or a program manager, when we are going to step in, then the scope starts. Because when the scope starts, it is going to be like a triple constraint is going to come into picture, like a cost, a scope, a schedule. This is what we are going to, with this requirements are going to be like a choosy, because customer might be coming with so much of requirements. But the scope, whenever we are going to discuss about the scope, we are going to define something with including like a schedule and cost. This is come into picture actually. So first, this has to be identified. Once the scope is going to get fixed, this baseline is going to come into picture. Once this baseline is done, that's it. When customer is going to get approved, we are going to start the program or project only with this defined or approved scope or this thing. After this, we are in intention to go to any site or like a customer project with considering only there is going to be like ideal scenario in the project where everything goes fine. So there, till the time this project swing is not going to happen, and that is not at all going to come in picture actually. By the time when customer is going to start this scope change or like a scope starts swinging, then obviously the elements which is going to be like a cost, schedule, till the time which is going to be like element, this is going to start like a constraint. So obviously this scope is going to be related with this change in constraint. Scope swing is going to be related to change in constraint now. Obviously, when there's a change in constraint, definitely our milestone is going to get passed away. So milestone is not going to happen. So these three are going to be like interrelated. It's not like if scope swing is going to be there, it is only it's going to get affected with the scope. No way. If scope is going to be there, the triple constraint is going to get impacted. Normally the variations in constraints and this milestone and this project are going to get like exceeded with all the things actually. Yeah. I'm the one who is handling this. I'm into this FTTH installations are here. I'm handling this complete broadband connections in Qatar actually. We are in an impression like when we go to customer side, my main job is to take care of customer installing our devices like broadband devices in the customer places. We are running teams actually. We are going to take care of this complete FTTH installations in last mile users like customer users. So we, till the time we reach a customer site, we will have impression that everything will go fine at the customer side, because our defined scope is like we are going to install the equipments at this place, and the customer is going to get a coverage from all these places by installing the devices here. This is how we are going to start the project. But when we go to customer site, that scenario is going to be like a different actually, because not all the customers, at least when this is going to happen at the site, first thing what is going to happen, because when I go to customer site, customer will say that when I go, you are going to install this equipments in a place where I'm not going to get a coverage in all the places. This is going to reach in all the places. So first thing, our scope, whichever is going to be planned in a place where we need to fix the equipment, that is going to get changed on the first step itself. So first, when this get changed, obviously we have to think in a place, because no way customers are going to get denied with their requirements. We have to find options to keep the customers intact in our project actually, no other options. So now we'll go with the customers. Okay, just let us know where this has to be installed. So now we are going to violate or deviate the SOP which is already with us, because we are being given with some of the SOPs where this equipment has to be installed. According to this, we have a team resources planned, we have cost involved in this, and everything is planned in this way only to keep this baseline intact for all these things. But when this is going to get deviated on the first step, first thing, our cost schedule is going to get deviated. More than this, to get this done, we want to go through all the process once again. This is like a small example, because when we consider, when we want to consider for a bigger scenario, the small things, I think they could able to make it to their matching to their thing. So now I should go through this change control board. So as I told you, we cannot stop any of this project swing, scope swing in the project or program. And definitely we can only control this. So we have some like a strategy to handle this scope swings, to control the scope swings, which is going to happen in the project. Actually, some 2-3 points I just noted down. So first thing, before start of any project or program, clearly define the scope to the customer. Actually, I am here so and so for this. If this once, if at all he is going to agree for this, I am going to install these devices, I am going to fix this kind of devices, this is the place, this is the point where we are going to install this. If customer is going to have any kind of issues, he is going to right away tell this is not the place. Unless and until we are not going to satisfy the customer, definitely our purpose of visiting the customer site is not going to be give any result actually. So we have to listen to customers. So to get this done, next step, first step is like we are going to explain the things to customer. What are we going to do at the sites? Second step, if customer is going to come with the changes like scope swings, then we are going to go ahead with this change control process. Change control process is the one through like a change control board. We will go ahead with this. My client office. So customer is going to ask like this. So this is going to be done. And this communication, the one whichever we are going to do it, it has to be communicated properly to this to avoid any scope swings once we start this project. Under this and then yeah, I'm so much recommending for this telecom. No way we are going ahead with this waterfall methods, because the waterfall method is going to be like whichever is going to be planned previously, and in the same way we are going to follow. No, because in my day-to-day activities, if I'm going ahead with this waterfall, that is not going to happen. So be ready to accept any kind of request from the customer. So be flexible, be adaptable, be adaptable. You should be so much flexible. So whatever customer requires, and if this is going to get deviate from your SOP, go ahead through your process and finally get this customer done ahead with your connections. So this is what is going to be the fourth step. And finally, the resource whichever we are going to allocate for a particular job. So we should make sure that these resources are capable to handle any kind of changes which is going to happen at the customer side. Because the time whenever customer is going to come with the changes, and if at all you are going to come with some other point, no, I cannot do this, I don't want to do this, and this process I am not aware, and no, that is not going to work out to keep our customers in our project. So that especially in my FTTH installations, I am the one, I should make sure this customer requirements are going to get satisfied to keep my customers in my project all the times, so that I should not have any issues after installations also, because I'm handling maintenance too. So everything should be in a picture to get this done. So first thing is like before starting any project, we are going to clearly define the scope, what we are going to do, why we are here. And second is like a change control process. If at all I am going to do this, these are the process which is going to happen, and is that okay? If customer is going to say yes, then we are going to communicate this to everyone. And then this communication side, actually I want to tell you one thing, sir, because in my daily activities, this communication should reach the right person who is going to give the approval for this scope changes. Because it's not that if I go to customer site, since somebody is there, if I'm going to get this approval done, that is not going to happen. So, and fourth point is going to be like you have to be agile, you have to be like keep on flexible with the customer requirements, and so that it is going to get satisfied with all your with the customer requirements. And fifth one is like a resource allocation, whichever resource you are going to plan for the activity, make sure there should not be any hassles whenever you are going to if at all you are going to experience any changes from the project. So as a summary, scope changes, no way we are going to say no to customers. We have to accept it, and we have to, but we should be prepared to get all these things in the right way. That's it. So this is what I feel, sir, actually scope swing related to scope swings.
And the most important thing, yes, the changes are part of our life, whether telecom or banking or anywhere. You have to, sometimes we cannot say no, but before you say yes or no, you should do a thorough analysis, and making sure that you have right people available to do the change. You may have to reprioritize and all this kind of thing based on if there's an impact to the cost and schedule, and if the benefit get impacted, anything. So that need to be clearly identified and communicated to the right people. Sometimes there's risk involved, so let them know there's a risk as well. So that's a very important for you to have communication, imagine communication to the right person at right time and right information. Thank you very much. And good. My next question is, what are the challenges faced by project program managers when adding capabilities to public networks and replacement of obsolete technologies? We can talk about like FIFA you did, and that was the public, not only public, the worldwide scene. So what capabilities, how do you see this? What challenges you face?
Sir, the thing is, every technology is going to get absolute when some any upgradations are going to come. This is the first truth actually, and no way we are going to tell like I'm going to run away with this network technology which is there in 2022. I'm going to be with this for next 2030 also. No, that is not going to happen at all. You are going to upgrade any technology. We should be prepared to bear this, to bear the cost, expenses, whichever is going to happen. And with no other options, we should move on to the next upgradation level. So this is what I feel. So in my project, where I handle, sir, actually, because in my project that I handle especially copper project. I think I would have told you in during my discussion also, where my job is to take care of this complete copper into fiber migration. And I started my career in telecom itself from changing with this copper network only. I started around some 2002 in one of my companies. So where I used to go to catch my customers for getting into copper connections. So within 2-3 years, by the time I was in customer place itself, this copper technology has become obsolete once this fiber started getting introduced actually. So where I was going to the customer places, where I was asking customer permission to lay all my copper cables, now I have to visit customer places to visit my fiber actually. So all these things has gone as obsolete now, but no way it is going to stop our upgradation. So obviously when I go for upgradation, this is going to be absolute. So we face some challenges, especially that in telecom industry, where we are going to have so much of investment for implementing one technology. This when you see some technology are going to be obsolete, there are so much of wastages, and the challenges whichever you are going to face in telecom, it's huge actually. First thing is cost. The way we implemented the technology, it's going to be huge in this telecom industry, and if at all it's going to get absolute, the problem is the new implementation cost, and the second cost is going to be like replacement cost. This both the cost is going to happen, because new installation at least will have like only one time cost. It is going to be like a new time, but the thing is replacement is going to like having a two cost. That is the most important factor in this obsolete technology, replacing obsolete technologies. And the second issues which I faced is customers. They were resistant to change actually much, because whoever was so much practiced to this copper technology or like a old existing technology, they were not easy to change actually, because they will ask a simple question, boss, why are you here? Madam, I am just sir, madam, I am just here to change your technology. Did I ask you for the change? No sir, it was not from your side. So I'm here to serve you. Then he will be straight away asking me this question. This happens because when I was in, straight away they are going to ask me the next question. Don't tell me you are here to serve me, because you are here to sell your service. Yes, that is the truth, no other options. Then I should tell, okay, then what is the next option? So I should convince a customer in such a way that I should not tell them like I'm here for doing my services, like my upgradation. It was like for customer purpose. With no other options, I should change it. I should get this upgraded. So the resistance from the customers to change any existing technology, it's going to be huge, and your involvement as a programmer, project manager, it's going to be huge to complete this kind of projects actually. And this public expectations, when I'm going to implement a new project or new technology, making the previous existing technology as an absolute, obviously my new technology is going to give a good result. This actually, when I'm going to replace this copper with the fiber, obviously I know that yes, this copper more than copper, this fiber is going to have a better result. but not sure the customer might be knowing all the things, because customer has to experience it first. I should make sure he is going to get convinced first before accepting this change first. So, and if anyway customer is going to feel the slowness or any issues in the new technology, then customer once again they will be ready to go to the previous technology itself. So I should be working in such a way that no way my present technology, I'm telling just an example like a copper to fiber, but whichever field they are working, like whoever is watching, whichever field they are working, let them put in their place actually, because whichever technology they are going to bring new at any time, they are not going to they are not supposed to go back actually, because if this demands, this performance are going to be bad at any time, sir, customer with definitely they will pull you back actually. So all the times you should maintain the new technology whichever you are going to implement it, that should be in a proper way. And this educating customers, customers, we cannot blame any customer, because customer is king actually, and we are not supposed to blame any customers, because the technology whichever you are going to bring, you should make sure that the customer is going to understand the positiveness or benefitness of the new technology whichever you are going to make. So for this, which I faced was, we just made a new marketing strategies when I was there in companies like other Reliance, Airtel. We used to visit customers, and we used to have some propagandas. We used to some meeting those customers regularly, and we used to explain the benefits of this customers. And finally, it has happened. And this is going to be like a fourth challenge: educating the customers and compatibility. This is a very important task. All those devices whichever were installed during that time, it was supporting only copper. So replacement of all these devices, it's going to be like a huge task for us, because it's going to be like a migration from this copper to this fiber. And the biggest problem with this copper is we might not be having huge data to make this migration properly to the fibers. So everywhere we have to visit the site, and you have to physically check whether this DNs are working. DN means that telephone numbers are working out. This was like a huge task. So first, for me, the first challenge whichever you are going to face is like cost, the replacement cost, and this new implementation cost is going to be different. The challenge and this resistance to this the oppose from the customers who is not interested in the change, and but still from our side we need to change for their upgradation. That is going to be the second thing. And the expectations, the result, the performance of the new technology whichever you are going to implement, that should carry a very good result when compared to the previous one. And fourth one is educating customers. Customers should be properly trained, and they should be like they should finally they should agree, yes, you are doing good in that way. That is the way we should educate their customers, and compatibility of this equipments. And all these things are, these are challenges which I faced personally in during my working period, sir. So that's what. So if at all you have anything, you can just add it, sir, please.
No, good. Thank you for sharing. And especially when you are getting rid of old technology or old devices and old wires, it's a huge challenge. Sometimes upgrading, you can put the new machine is easier compared to getting removing all those big infrastructure sitting there. But yeah, you need to make sure the customer knows, because the customer will ask question, why I have to change? We are not paying you extra, don't have to pay, but we have to do it because they need to understand what is in for me. While you're changing, okay, change, but what about the disruption? No, actually going to, that's where the selling is going to be. How is this new technology will help you to improve your productivity or whatever? That's where you need to sell it. And once they're happy, okay, currently I'm getting 10, speed is 10 megabyte or gigabyte, whatever, to versus 100 or 500. Wow, you have to show that. That's
correct.
Good.
So till the time we earn their confidence, we have to be in them. That's it.
Exactly. And the changes with anything we do a change, bring a change, we need to convince the users that yes, the change is not going to disrupt them. Yes, there may be some minor disruption, but at the end of the day, it's going to change, improve their way of doing things, or maybe better, or productivity, and all kinds of. You need to show them bigger picture or vision of this. After this is what happened.
Yeah, correct, sir. 100% right. Yes, I should make them visualize what is happening, what should happen after this. Yeah.
And for people, like I have shared the PDU code on chat, so feel free to write it down and use it when of course it will give you one PDU. and we are not finishing. We just started basically, but yeah, but I just want to make sure you have the PDU code and you benefit out of this. And yeah, please feel free to put your questions on the chat. Where the project program manager must be part of pre-sales discussions in ordering or provisioning the product infrastructure and during the deployment of necessary network elements and management system. So should a project program manager be part of pre-sales activities?
Sir, in this question, I just want to split into two actually, because the first one is like whether the project manager must be part of this pre-sales discussion in order and provisioning of the product infrastructure, and second one is like during the deployment of necessary network elements. During the deployment of necessary network elements, yes, obviously program manager and project manager, yes, he should be there and he will be there. This is no doubt. But the first part, whichever is you are asking, like must be a part of a pre-sales discussion in order to provisioning and product infrastructure. Truth is, in most of the industry, this is not happening. But honestly, to be very honest, every program manager and every project manager should be involved in this pre-sales discussion for sure, because he is the one who is to first of all, this project, the deciding factor for any kind of project is going to be like cost. That is the first deciding factor. The cost is going to happen based on the technical survey and the technical inputs which is going to be given by this technical team, which is going to be handled by this program or project managers, because it is not the estimation team, because the technical survey, technical input, whichever they are going to give to the estimation team are the one. This is the one which is going to give you a project cost or estimation cost or all those things. So the input for those estimation cost or project cost or budget, it is going to happen from this technical team, and those are the people who is going to decide what kind of materials, what kind of items, what kind of specifications which is required at this customer side to handle this kind of customer requirements actually. Well, I'll tell you examples, sir. In my case actually, it was if at all you want to connect to some 50 customer building, for me it is like a fiber is building. For I'm just a FTTH connections, I'm in that way I'm telling. For a 50 customer building, it is the technical team who is going to tell how many fibers are going to be laid for this connecting 50 customers. It is not not the sales team or some other team who is going to have this. So and based on this, the specifications are going to get changed. The specifications are going to be the base for the budget or the cost for the project cost which is going to happen. So all the things are going to happen from this programmer project manager who is going to handle this, and later once this is done, he is the one who is going to handle all the things in the later in the project. So if at all he is not going to involve in this kind of sales discussion before this project start, then obviously he will be completing the dark picture after this project starts. So it is very much recommended for this programmer project manager to be involved in this sales discussion. Honestly, this is not happening in most of the industries, I know this, but this is very much recommended, sir. This is very much required, and this is very much required also. Because later in the project stage we cannot somebody why this was not happening previously, why this was not told. No, to avoid all those things, better include those program and project managers to in this pre-sales discussion before purchasing any of this, because that before going for any procurement, and he is someone who is going to decide what kind of product is going to be used for the customer requirements. Yes, I strongly recommend for this.
Exactly. I tell you, most of the time what happened, sales team win the business, and now the pressure on the project and program managers, and without knowing the capability and the
100% true. Correct, sir. Correct.
Technology, sometimes they sell it, and now the pressure is all on the program project team. I tell you one project, as part of the my working with HP, there's setting the cloud data center within record time. The 3 months for data center, second data center will be ready by June, fully connected, populated, ready to be accepting the customer. And here we're talking in November. And look, the sales team has done good job. They have sold our cloud services capabilities to this mega, big companies, and now you have to deliver it. So now, I mean,
obviously that is what, obviously we'll nobody is going to handle this kind of responsibilities once it is done by other team. That is what actually it is missed in many places, but it should be recommended, sir, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So more you can get involved in the some in some pre-sales activities, because you can add value. You can tell them that we actually can do better than this, or maybe I think we are over committing to this, or Of course, sales team, they don't want to get involve you for some reason, but yeah, but it is always, as I said, advisable to have this relationship between, good relationship with project team and the sales team. So that, yeah. All right, good. Thank you very much. And my next question is, how can a project or program manager effectively handles the multidisciplinary and cross-functional telecom service team? So you have different type of people, different, yeah. Please,
for this reason, sir, actually, project manager, program manager, most of the times he is doing a coordinating job in a project or program. Either he will be coordinating with other teams, or where he cannot be dependent completely only on his team. Actually, he has to, for sure, he has to be in touch with other cross-functional team, where accounts team, where this procurement, where this HR department, everybody is going to be there actually. So this is very much required actually. And first of all, in this program or project, a project manager or program manager can be accountable for sure for the project or program, but he should make sure that whoever is going to support this project, they also should be made responsible, so that they will understand, yes, they are all for working for the same project, and this other teams whoever is going to work for this project, like other than this program team, technical team, or project team, they should understand they are here for the project, and they are here because of the project actually, because the cost whichever is going to get involved in this project, it's going to add their cost too. It is not that multidisciplinary actions, whenever they are going to do something, no, they should feel that they are also one among the team of this project or program team. And I have some 2-3 points on this, sir. Actually, first thing, whenever you are going to involve with the more number of teams, first issue whichever you are going to face is like a conflicts. So manager, program manager, whoever is going to program, or project manager, whoever is going to handle this, he should be able to, this should be the capability of him to handle this conflict first. You might be having many kind of conflicts, like whenever you are going to have more number of teams involved in this, or departments involved in this, it is your capability to make them understand, yes, they are here to support you, and you are there to support them actually. So that kind of conflicts management skills, it should be the program manager, first point. And the second one is, have a common goals for everyone. The goals should be defined, and the goals whichever you are going to have, the project end result should be very much aware to everyone who is going to be present in the project. It's not present in the project means not only the technical team, program team, or project team. All those teams whoever is going to work for this project, they should be very much aware what is going to be the end result for this, and then they'll be made responsible. Unless and until you are going to make them responsible, you cannot convey these people into your terms actually. So it is your job to make them if at all you want these people to work for to support for you, make sure you are establishing a common goal. And next one is like defining roles and responsibilities. Let everybody understand who is what here, who has to do what. So this three criteria should be with the program or project manager, and it is his responsibility to make everybody to understand this 3 points. First one is he has to manage the conflicts, and second is like establishing a common goal for all these things, and make sure everybody is defined with their roles and responsibilities, so that they will be aware what is happening and what they should do in this project.
Right. Let me ask this question. Do you agree telecom industry need a strong risk management process to mitigate future enterprise environmental factors?
100% it's required, sir. It's not only for telecom industry, but definitely in telecom industry it is very much required, because that is the technology constantly going for a change actually every time. Because at this stage where you are seeing so much of upgradations, so much of technology changes, so much of technology advancements, if without proper risk management process in place, we are going to be in trouble. I'll give one simple example, sir, where I faced issues actually. I was in a project in India actually, where I don't want to mention much details about this. I was there in a project called DBC, direct buried cable action. In fact, that is a good project actually. But that was the first time in a place where I have seen this kind of project. It was my initial stages. So in this project, what we used to do is, where we used to lay the fiber in the roads actually, because normally direct buried cable, it's going to be it's optic fiber, where it's going to be like in the sand, soil, or in the outside remote areas. In those places only we used to do it. But it was the first time in the company, they have started implementing this technology where you used to connect all the customers inside the city. So this was the first time actually. So this was started very well actually. This was started very well, and I was in the project. I was around it was like 20 years back actually. I was handling this project. Project went well. Project went well till the time when this till the time when this project was about to hand it over to maintenance. So what has happened when this the problem was during the time of project, nobody has had made a on a, assumed of on a risk actually. If any maintenance, any issue happens at the site or any issue happens on the fiber which is on the road actually, how this is going to get rectified, this was completely not identified actually. That is what I feel, because what happened is we just made a fiber in the depth of like a 15 centimeter, where it was like it was completely protected with the sheath on the steel plate, everything was made. But when something happens, because the project usually, when all the fiber projects used to happen only in the night times actually, but when something happens on the daytime where we lay the fiber, it is like a completely main roads or like a big roads, and this traffic has to be completely shut down. So nobody was thought that this risk is going to happen after this project starts. But when we started this, nobody has thought about this. And when we started getting the fiber cut before the starting of this handing over, if any, we started getting the issues like whichever fiber we laid in the road actually, it started getting damaged due to the traffic on the roads actually. When this traffic has gone, fiber got damaged. When fiber got damaged, it was like in the DBs, it was like a direct buried, so we couldn't able to get any fiber loops in the center of the roads. And if at all we want to work on these places, first thing we have to stop the traffic. That stopping this traffic in this main roads, it's not going to be happening on the daytimes, that we know. And till the time we rectify this fiber, we couldn't able to serve the customers. So till the time this is going to get rectified, customers link was down. And because of this because of this, first issue where we faced is the teams who are sitting in office, whomever was dedicated for project team, they have to be there for maintenance work also, because maintenance team was not ready to take. And completely there was a confusion who has to handle what, and completely organization structure culture was completely gone. So at least if at all we would have well risk management process defined on this, we would have some at least we would be coming to know that who will do what, and we will be prepared for all this risk. But since because of this failure, and this project has gone failure actually, because it was I was around some 1 year, and we couldn't able to succeed any of, because if at all I'm going to succeed in one place, I couldn't able to rectify on the other side actually. Completely it was project was failure, and we couldn't able to make it. And the second thing where we faced issues, that market conditions, where we couldn't able to survive in the market actually, because of this downtime, because of this network issues, we couldn't able to keep up the customers, and the customers started leaving from us. So the risk management is so much important. If at all you would have planned this well before project, at least I'm not telling that this is not going to happen, but at least we would have prepared how to get this customers connected in the easier way. So this is strongly recommended, this risk management process for any kind of project, even though it's going to be like a add-on cost for a project, no way to avoid. It has to be planned proper way well before the start of the project, sir. Yes, this is what I wanted.
Exactly. So look, risk management is very important for any industry, and that is where the make or break happen. And especially when you have new technology and some unknowns are there, lots of unknowns are there, you need to spend enough time, enough due diligence to avoid any risk. You know, if the risk happen, you're ready for that. You know, that's what you talk about, the road, middle of the road. Okay, if you know that this can happen, then you probably have better protection on the in your cables. You know,
100%.
So,
yeah.
you know, and probably you got lesson learned from that, which you could apply, which you probably have applied in the future projects. You know, that's where it is. So risk is, you know, that's where I see the project manager, program manager who understand the risk management better can control the project even better. If you cannot see what's going to happen and you are not ready, then you already started with failure. So spend enough time to identify the enough risk and have a mitigation. If this happens, we are ready for that, and you know, all kind of things. So please, you know, risk management is one of the most important area for a project manager, other than a few other things. All right. So my last question is, how was Qatar? You know, the FIFA happened just recently. how was Qatar, which was successfully hosted by FIFA World Cup last year, achieved the highest internet penetration rate in the world and ranked first worldwide mobile internet speed as per the worldwide ranking index. So how did you achieve this? I think this is a phenomenal achievement. So what did you do exceptionally to make it happen? I know you, not only you, but the whole company did something exceptionally well.
Yes, sir. Obviously, it was not only a single man effort here. It was a complete Qatar. And I want to tell you one thing, sir. Actually, because whenever somebody discuss about this Qatar success, they think about the investment. Actually, investment which Qatar made. No, sir. It was not only the investment which our country made. Actually, it was the way they handled this investment. Actually. So it was not like there's a the FIFA project. Yes, it happened in 2022 on this November to December month. It was like 1 month event, but doesn't mean that actually this FIFA project started on this 2022 start. No, because it was like a decade back. We just started working on this section. In fact, I joined this FIFA program on 2015 to this Qatar. Before to me, it was like 2 phases was already done. So we had we had only one thing in thinking in our mind. Actually, the infrastructure is the only one which is going to support for this for all the requirements in the future, whichever internet is going to happen. So the infrastructure whichever we made, and the truth is actually the investment whichever we made, it's not going to be only for FIFA. After the FIFA, it's not like we are going to wind up all this infrastructure. No, the infrastructure we made, it's for Qatar, so that it is going to support for other 30-40 years. So this Qatar was fiberized during this 2015-16 itself, because when I joined here, I joined as a project manager for this FTTH installations only for handling this complete Qatar. So starting from this 2015 itself, we had only one thing in mind. So whatever you do, you just get this done before this 2019. So we should be very much prepared before this 2 years at least. So everything went fine, and till this COVID starts, actually everything was there. And by the time everybody was discussing about this 5G network in 2018 itself, Qatar has started implementing 5G networks, and we were very much advanced. We were in so much rush to get everything done. So only one thing we had in our mind, we just want to close this infrastructure project by this 2019 itself. That is how we worked. So it was fine till 2019, as I told you, like till COVID it was there. Once this COVID starts, but by good thing was we just completed the infrastructure project before this 2019. So maybe like a small pending was there. So 2019 there was like issues. So it was like a complete lockdown. The first issue which we faced was like supply chain issues, like where everything was a standstill and nothing was moving here and there. And but still no other options other than waiting for the right time to start our project once again. It was, and we started, but with so much of regulations actually, because of this COVID rules, regulations. It was not you are not free to move here and there, so much of tight. But by 2021 around, we put that much of pressure. We just want to complete this project by this 2021 at least. So by 2021 last, we were completely ready for this. So 2021 we were so much dedicated only for this connecting the last mile fans. So we dedicated this our complete last 1 year. It was not even 1 year. So we have been told in such a way that this Qatar people will start coming into this Qatar starting from this October. So event starts from this November. So they are going to be here starting from this October. So whatever you want to do, just be before this October, just get it done. So in fact, I was the only one. Me and my team was the only one who was handling this complete FIFA project for this complete fiberization of this, closing this fans accommodations with all the fiber connections. So you don't even believe, sir, actually in 6 months we completed. In 6 months we completed this complete. We made this fans areas, fans rooms, fans accommodations. In Qatar, you might have seen in most posts actually. Everything was made free. Yes, in all the places, in all the public places, in all the rooms, in all the everything was made free here. And it was so much a good thing that we made every room, each and every part of this country, we just made fiberized, and it was like a complete coverage was there. And we are waiting for the fans, and we have been informed in this way: no fans whoever is coming from outside this country, should get disappointed by seeing any of this. And this internet is going to be the key for taking your informations whichever happening in Qatar to all over the globe. So this is what we told, and we had two concepts here. One was we should keep them live when the fans are going to be here, when they are looking in stadiums. The second thing is people who could people who will be watching this matches from the home, they also should be given this continuously without interruption connections. So two things we had, and successfully it was made. And I personally visited many of the matches, and they were very happy. I just started encouraging those, how do you feel? Yeah, they were very good, and it was a very great field selection for me.
A fantastic result, fantastic work you did personally at your level, and you made, everybody has contributed, of course.
It was a great government support, sir, because without those people support, nothing would have been moved here. But in fact, all these things, finally they made it happen actually.
Yeah, so that's exceptional work. So fantastic, and I'm sure your company has recognized you, or your whatever recognition you guys. But
yeah, that is what a program manager, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it is. And I do have some public audience question. I will take. Let's see how far we can go. And are there any specific skills necessary for project managers in telecom industry? Do you think anything, or all the skills, common skills project manager have?
Every project will have their positive and negative, sir. That is very true. But especially for telecom industry, personally, I feel there are some 2-3 is there actually. First one is communication skill.
Yeah.
So here this communication skill is not going to be like a language skills, because telecom, telecom industry is one among those industries where you have to deal with the bottom line of this your project, and also top officials of your project. You need to make sure even your helpers are going to understand your requirement, and the same way the client, whomever you are going to meet those people. And this communication skill is so much important. You should make these people understand in such a way that they are going to support you in a way whichever you want. Yeah. So this communication skill is so much important in this telecom industry, first one. And second is be prepared, sir. And don't expect things are going to be an ideal scenario. At least in the coming days, you be prepared. Whatever, as I told in the beginning of this session, customers are no way going to be like whichever way you were to expect. Whenever you enter into those places, you should be prepared to get their requirements. That is the only way to get these customers in your hand actually. Otherwise, we are not going to survive in the market. This is second thing. And the third is problem solving techniques, sir. This is most important because in telecom industry is the only industry where you will spend more time in identifying the problems more than resolving the issues, sir. Because in my field actually, if any fiber cut happens, the time to identify where the fiber cut happened, it will take more time, more than this rectifying this. So this you should be somehow you should find some options to have this things corrected before it goes like out of your hands actually. So these three techniques, these three might be many skills, but as much I personally want this three things to be with the telecom industry very much like communication skills, be adaptive, and this problem solving techniques, they should be there.
So thank you Manohar for taking time out and preparing for this session and giving your knowledge and experience to people. Hopefully some of the people who came from the same industry or similar situation, they learned something out of this one, and they continue to learn from this discussion. By the way, all these webinars or the previous webinars are available for you to watch on the YouTube. Some of the YouTube channel videos are like this. If the video was recorded last 1 year, then chances are that you still have a option of earning PDU. So watch them and reach out to us for any question and clarification. With this, thank you very much, and you will see me again very soon in next webinar. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks all, sir. Thanks, sir. Yeah.